And so here we have a Kershaw, or I doubt it's a real Kershaw. I mean, I think China is. Oh, okay. All right, cool. I think China has made a vendetta against Kershaw. Bellair. Okay, this is the Bellair Duralock KVT folding knife, CPM Magna Cut. And so what they do is, and it's probably made in China anyway. I don't know if I'm wrong. Please comment below so we can clarify that issue. But and I know I brought it up before the old Leathermans. They're they're made in China, and so China just took the Leatherman design that they already make for Leatherman, and they make their own knockoffs with cheaper materials. And the one I have, I think, was that because it doesn't have certain things with it that would normally have with it. But I've had it for years and it works fine. And I think that's the same thing with Kershaw, or maybe it's the first knife they started copying or something. Uh, but I'd like to have a Bellair, an actual Bellair to compare against, but I don't, so I can't. But I do have the iridium, and I've got some fake iridiums coming that to try to compare against them. But I would like to be able to compare real to fake to show you guys the differences so that you can spot them. So let me give you all the information that I can find on this, but this is basically seems like a cross between an iridium and a Benchmade. And it looks like T8 pivot screws and T6 body screws, along with the clip. The clip feels pretty solid. I mean, it's a pretty stout clip. The screws are not recessed, and the weird, the pocket clip is not recessed. But I would be willing to bet I could take that pocket clip off, and it is right and left hand reversible, and it would set right straight in that indent and make it recessed. It's almost like they intended to make it recessed, but they accidentally cut the slot in the wrong spot. I don't know. I'm not sure if this is how close this is to an actual Bellair. The screws, that one is almost flush. It's barely proud of the surface. That one is more so proud of the surface, and that one is as well. It's kind of like, they didn't cut their pockets very deep on these recesses. This side is proud, but it's the shoulder of the head is below the surface, so that's recessed. This side is squared off and fully flush. Um, the clip feels very stout. It feels to have a very stout clip or release. Uh, Indent is almost non-existent. I mean, it's there, but it's not. Yeah, see, you drop it, and you're going to end up with a blade popped out, and so I think that's one of the things here. You could technically go to cutting your pockets up with this baby. 6105 American Car USA, Kershaw branded, and Kershaw there. So, of course, she flicks open just exactly like you would expect. Got that flat grind that I love so much. And I don't know. Yeah, you got spots that'll shave. So a pretty crappy sharpening, but I honestly believe it would take very little, if anything, to bring that into place, because you can see the edge on the blade is kind of wavy, if that makes sense. I believe I could hit this on a stone a few times and it would really bring it into shape. Now it says Magna Cut, but I don't think so. Um, it looks like that the lock in the back here. It's probably, let's check it. Let's just see. So it's locked good. It's locked good and solid. And of course it flippy flops like you would expect it to flippy flop. I don't see no problems there. It is bearings, and I'll probably just take and break down and pull a bunch of these knives and stuff apart just to show you what's inside of them. I do see bearings, but I do also believe that it is the tiny, tiny bearings in the Ozark Trail, which work. I mean, 3,000 flicks and going. Actually, I probably need to say about 3,500 because I've flippy flopped this thing a bunch more times. So, 3,000 plus flicks and going fine. So I don't have a problem with those bearings. I mean, 3,000 openings and closings on a regular knife is, what, 5, 10 years? I mean, it's not like you open your knife constantly unless it's a fidget knife. So, this blade, I guess, is supposed to be like a stone wash, and it looks stone wash until you touch it. When you touch it, it is super smooth, and so you know it's not a real stone wash. It kind of reminds me of the finish on an appliance, to be honest with you. But not a big deal. I mean, I don't know what kind of steel this is. Chances are it's probably like D2, because I mean, if they can, and this is made in China. I mean, I don't, yeah, right there. See, China. It's made in China, and Walmart's selling this thing for $10. So, Walmart's getting it from them for probably somewhere between $7 and $9, because Walmart will get stuff and at super cheap prices made for them, and they'll make like 10, 15, 20 cents, a dollar or something is all the profit they make on it. But it's okay because they get like 1 million of them, out of all the hundreds of thousands of Walmarts all over the world. And so they can get a good deal. So if they can do this knife and Walmart can sell it and make a profit for $10, and it's D2 and it's been proven to be D2, chances are this probably is D2 and not Magna Cut. But maybe it is. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, chances of me dulling this knife and needing to sharpen it again is like not going to happen. I've got other knives that I would carry along before I would carry this. This is just something that I would end up using for showing the differences. And if I can confirm that this fake here is either not a fake or as dimensionally the same as the real thing, then I'll use it for just a comparison to flop a knife down there and say this is it compared to this. And so here's the Ozark Trail to give you an idea what size this knife is. So they're about the exact same size. Almost, I'd say that the Ozark is maybe probably an eighth to a quarter, or maybe 3/8, an eighth to 3/8 longer than the deal. I'm not going to bother measuring because it's just not that big a deal on the knives. And so if you try to line up the shoulders to shoulder, you can see that the Ozark's got it by about a quarter of an inch, maybe 3/8. And if you line it up pivot pin to pivot pin, then it comes a little closer, but the Ozark still got it. And so you got a little bit of hangover there. The Ozark's a little longer. So in my pudgy hands, I'm kind of gripping it here and holding it, and you can see a little bit stuck out below my finger. So when I grip this there and hold it, it's pretty much even. there. No biggie. I mean, it's so you got a decent grip. And let me grab the iridium. And so I'm currently carrying the actual iridium, and you can see that the iridium is much longer, more comparable to the Ozark, and the blade is much longer. Um, and then, just as another comparison, here's my uh, Vision FG, which is handles a little shorter, but comparable blade wise to the Iridium and close to the Ozark. So it's a, you know, it is somewhat small, and don't by any means consider this to be a comparison to the actual um, Bel Air, because I don't know what this fake dimensions are in comparison to the real one, and until I get a real one or I find dimensions to compare or whatever. So, and that kind of give you an idea there. So, um, and you see, you got a real strong detent on that one, but it's still a lighter detent. Like on the Ozark, it's probably about what and what. Here on the Vision, that's a pretty that's a light, probably lighter than the rest, and I have had no issues with it opening in my pocket. And this fake Bel Air, it's just there's no, I mean, there's like nothing. There's like nothing there. I mean, it is, but like you can still knock this one open. You can knock this one open, and so you can this one, because of the way it's built, you can't. But it's you can still knock them open if you drop them or something like that. But these right here, I wouldn't worry about this opening in my pocket. It could still potentially, because you got that movement with hardly any detent, about the equivalent of this detent. And then you hit a wall, and then you have to pull it, you know. And then the iridium, you have, you know, it's either in place or you're moving it. It doesn't have any free play. And like right there, because of this, you know, you further back here you grip it, the less it's, you know, harder it's going to be. But I grab it up here. I mean, I can feel a decent amount, so I'm not really worried about it opening in my pocket. This one, I don't think it will, but it's still potential. So, I mean, I like the knife. It looks cool. I would be tempted to, and I don't know the price of a Bel Air, but I would be tempted to buy one if I saw this knife in a store, depending on the price. I'd be tempted to buy a Benchmade until I looked at the price tag, and then I'm no longer tempted to buy one. So anyway, this is pretty cool, and I to be honest with you, for the 20 or so bucks that you pay for these fakes, I think is serves as a nice, you know, kind of a, before you really invest in whatever the real price is, give you an idea to decide. I mean, and usually they make these pretty doggone dimensionally close. Uh, and it's a sub. I'm gonna say a sub deep carry pocket clip, because the clip is going to carry above the end of the knife. You're not going to see it at all. So these right here. Excuse me. Obviously, you can tell scabs don't last around me, and that's not a scab. It's just a callus. But anyway. So I think it's kind of neat to be able to see and get an idea of what's what. If someone can send me some dimensions on a Bel Air, I can compare them to this, and let you know that, hey, this is dimensionally the same as a Bel Air. And that'll give you an idea to grab this thing and kind of play with it. So you find something that is, you know, equivalent of a Benchmade, and you're inclined to spend that much money on a knife, in which I say, I'm not saying anything about it. I'm not, you know, saying nothing negative. That's fine, because I've spent a lot of money on stuff that people would think I was stupid for doing, you know, spending money on. So I don't have a judgment on stuff like that. It's what your money. It's not mine. So you do you. But and I respect you for it. But uh, I just can't put that kind of money on a real live brand new Benchmade. But if I knew dimensionally close, the feel, no, although I know the finish and all that would not be the same, but dimensionally the size, and I was really inclined to buy a Benchmade, I would get a fake first and play around with it and just kind of see if it's something that I would do something with. And if so, then I go buy a real one. You know, it that's just me. But um, so anyway, that's what I got so far. I have a bunch more fake knives coming, and I have some more real knives coming. I mean, if I open it and there's a C on there, and there's more C's coming. So anyway, um, that's what I've got so far, and I will see you guys again. And if you enjoy this, I would ask that you would like and subscribe. Uh, and if you're still here at this point, I would say you are amazingly awesome. And I hope to see you next time. Your time is very important to me, and I thank you for spending it here with me. Thanks, and God bless.